Gracias.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ahora sí.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation office.
Y aquí comienza el juego. Esto es de Stanley Parable. Y hay que seguir lo que nos dice el señor de la voz en off. ¿O no? Vamos a la meeting room, que supongo que estará por ahí, porque es el único camino. Claro, y la cosa de este juego es que cada acción está pensada. O sea, que tú vayas directo a la sala de oficinas está guay, ok. Pero si tú te quedas parado mirando cualquier cosa, tocando cosas, el narrador también lo sabe. Y también te dice cosas. Eso es lo random de este juego.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¿Le hago caso y voy por la izquierda o voy por la derecha? Vale, vamos a ir por la izquierda. Vale, meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Perfecto.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
A ver.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Chat. Gente, ya sabéis lo que toca. Sí, subimos para arriba. No, bajamos. Habrá que ir para arriba. No veo que nadie se esté oponiendo. Pues, venga, va. Vamos pues a la oficina del jefe.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Pongo el número mal, ahora lo pongo mal. Pero literalmente no puedo.
2845.
Hostia, me lo pone en rojo, 2, 8, 9, 1. 1, 5, 9, 0.
Stanley simply began entering random code, forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
¡Qué fantasía! O sea, le da absolutamente igual. Da igual el número que pongas, se va a abrir. Porque Stanley tenía una suerte increíble. Fantasía. Vale, aquí no hay nada. Y solo hay un ascensor con un botón, al cual, pues, tendremos que pulsarlo. Perfecto. Me gusta, me gusta. No hay elecciones aquí. ¿Qué os está pareciendo este juego? Aparte de extraño.
Descending deeper into the building,
Vamos
Stanley
allá.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Vale. Por cierto, este juego, si no me equivoco, tiene como la hostia de finales distintos. En plan, tiene muchas posibilidades y variables, como podéis ver. O sea, puedes coger una puerta, otra, puedes poner el código mal. Hay veces que te obliga a ir para un lado o para el otro. Pero eso, todo lo que hagamos tiene consecuencias. Y eso mola.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
A ver. Gente. Yo no sé qué opináis, pero tenemos centro de control mental o un pasillo muy largo que tiene escrito con ceras crayona Escape. ¿Qué hacemos? Vamos por Escape entonces, ¿no? Ustedes lo han decidido.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
A ver. Seguimos por aquí, a pesar de lo que nos está diciendo el señor narrador, con un poco de toxicidad. No nos está dejando tomar una decisión. Venga, va.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Pero, aún así nosotros vamos a seguir.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Bueno, pues Stanley quiere enfrentarse a su muerte. Es que no me acuerdo si hay susto aquí, ¿eh? Es que no me acuerdo. Uy. ¿No hay susto? ¿Qué ha pasado aquí? ¿Qué? ¡Oh! ¡Una atracción!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
¡Una atracción! ¡Qué chuli!
The bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No, hombre, no.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as
¿Cómo?
Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
¿Cómo? ¿Cómo? ¿Perdón? ¿Qué? ¿Que no estoy muerto? Ah, y claro.
And
Aquí
yet
se...
it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Y aquí hay cosas. Y no hay absolutamente nada. Pues habrá que ir para ahí.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead
Qué
from the
rayada de juego,
moment he
tío.
hit start?
The Office. Dios. El Nature Paintings, Stanley's Computer, Office Layout. Dios mío. Corridor. Ya está. Eso es feo. ¿Te imaginas? Office Computers. ¡Ah! Que se puede hacer... que se pueden hacer cosas aquí. Espérate, espera. Aquí hay cositas. Credits. Aquí hay una sala. Boss's Office. Vale. O sea, estamos en un museo. Eso lo veo. Pero aquí tiene que haber algo. Underground. Dios. ¿Estáis escuchando al narrador?
Stanley stood on the snow.
La madre que me parió, qué mal rollo.
Stanley walked over the bridge. When Stanley came to the lake,
Ah. Is this the good place? Tal cual, ¿eh? Sí, sí, o sea, sí. Este juego tiene vibes de Good Place. Totalmente. Aquí hay endings. Vale, o sea, esto lo veremos. ¿Cómo?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
¿Cómo? Espérate que tenemos un botón. Ojalá se cierre el juego ahora, ¿te imaginas?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these
¿Quién
things
eres tú?
cannot be seen.
¿Y dónde está mi narrador? Tú pareces saber muchas cosas y a mí eso no me gusta.
Listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they
¿Cómo?
both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
No me pienso
As long as
salir.
you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
No
Don't
me
let
pienso salir del
time-
juego. ¿O sí? Creo que me he muerto. Creo que estoy muy muerto, ¿verdad?